morning, Carolina Center for Spiritual Awakening. This is called I Light Up the World. Let's start our Sunday off with some uplifting music. I Light Up the World. It's so easy. It's a song I wrote. It's wonderful. I hope you enjoy it. It goes like this. I light up the world with my light. 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 You got it? Come on. I light up the world with my light. 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 Now turn to someone and say, you light up the world with your light. 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 Now come on. We light up the world with our light. 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 One more time. I light it up. Come on. I light up the world with my light. 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 Good morning and welcome all you beautiful people out there. My name is Wendy Davenport and I'm one of Reverend Christy Snow's practitioner students. I began this journey a few years back in her Living Solution class. I was a travel nurse in Colorado, so I became very familiar with the Zoom meetings while I was in Colorado. I'd like to take a moment and wish Reverend Christy Snow a very happy birthday. I hope you enjoy your day. Thank you for all the fathers out there. Happy Father's Day. Thank you for all you do. Now, let's close our eyes. Let's take a deep breath. In. Exhale out. Breathe in. Exhale out. Deep breaths. Now let's go to our happy place, the place that makes us the most happy. Breathe in and out. Feel the peace consume our bodies. Feel the calmness. Breathe in and exhale out. Breathe in, exhale out. I know that God is all powerful. I know that God is everywhere. I know that God is within me. I know that God is within you. I know that I am power. I know that you are power. With this power and this knowledge, I know that we have everything we need to make our dreams become reality. For this, I am so thankful. I am so thankful. I am so thankful for you. I'm so thankful to God. And with a grateful heart, I release this into the universe. And so it is. And so it is. Now you can slowly open your eyes.
Thank you for joining us today. And go make your dreams reality. Thank you. Love you guys.
Good morning. I'm Terry Ann Olivadotti. I'm a student practitioner at Carolina Center for Spiritual Awakening. And on this beautiful morning, I would like to share with you some words about a man who had a great deal of influence in my life, but it took me a long time to come to know and appreciate. And that man is my father. And like Ray Kinsella's father, John, in W.P. Kinsella's book, Field of Dreams, my own father, at 33, was old. He was born in a small town outside of Minneapolis, Minnesota. And when he was quite young, his father died. His mother, he and his brother had to go live with his maternal grandfather, a man who is not known to be warm or very loving. And being the oldest son, my father was often saddled with much of the responsibility of running his grandfather's farm and caring for a lot of the livestock. My father married out of high school and had 2 sons. Later, he was drafted into the Army, and he was a member of what would later become known as the Greatest Generation. The wounded ones, physically and psychologically, who were left to suffer and mourn in silence. He had survived grievous injuries during World War II, which ended any hopes for him of a career in sports. His younger brother perished in a Japanese prisoner of war camp, and then saddled with this survivor's guilt, as his brother was his mother's favorite child, he had to move on. To ease this pain and guilt, sadness, and loss of his dreams, my father began his dance with alcohol. Years later, he moved his family to California, divorced his wife, and then met my mother. Although they loved each other, he didn't want to remarry or have any children. Marriage wouldn't materialize for them, but a baby did. And the baby was a girl. What was this former super jock, former captain of the football, baseball, and basketball team, father of 2 sons, supposed to do with a girl? To quote the character Barry Bigelow in the musical Carousel, you can have fun with a son, but you have to be a father to a girl. My father left us when I was 3 months old, but he stayed close enough to visit me, take me to circuses, movies, on boat rides, some baseball games, and to the Cal-Stanford game. Through the years, my mother always sent him school, ballet, recital pictures, and kept him up to date on any other of my noteworthy accomplishments. I believe my father's pain was so intense, so steeped in his heart, that it was all he could do to endure having to wake and face each day, and this pain, along with his addiction to alcohol, held him hostage. He was not able to express his love, his hopes, or his dreams for me. His world was clouded with anger, resentment, and darkness. I could not comprehend his world, nor he mine. These worlds and ideals would collide, exploding into anger, sending us retreating like fighters to our respective corners. I would later come to understand that when he was not trying to be a father, he was being the best father. The best father I could have asked for. All his inhibitions dissolved and his dreams for me were crystal clear. He would patiently explain the definition of a baseball term, in depth, during the game, years before instant replay, or stating to me with a twinkle in his eye that there was no reason on this earth I was not smart enough to solve the rational expression x to the third power minus 4x over 5x to the third power plus 4 times 3 to the third power minus 32x. Though he never directly voiced any true pride in, or hopes or dreams for me, I am sure his baseball buddies had their socks bored off them, each one scheduling novenas, all of them Catholics and all divorced. So the games would not go into extra innings, and they could be spared any additional anecdotes of Miss Terry Ann. By the way, Dad, the jury's still out on that rational expression problem, but thank you for the vote of confidence. I feel blessed for every day that he was, and still is, my father. Our time together so enriched me. I learned how to be patient, understanding, sympathetic, compassionate, how to love unconditionally. He was the only father he knew how to be, and to love him was to love what I consider his strengths and his weaknesses. I have no knowledge of who said this, but these words resonate in my heart. When I am at my best, I am my father's daughter. And I would like to tell him today what I told him the last time I saw him before he transitioned from this world. I love you, Daddy. Happy Father's Day to all fathers everywhere. Thank you, and have a beautiful day.
In order to have dreams, you gotta have some faith. Come on. Come on again. Hey. You could go ahead and tiptoe through your life, digging in the dirt. You could stress on the strive. I'm gonna fly past the worry and the pain today. I'm flying on faith. I'm flying on faith. You could cry all night about the things that you hate, so dissatisfied in so many ways, but I'm gonna find a way to celebrate today. I'm flying on faith. I'm flying on faith. I picked up my baggage and I threw it out the door, not looking back because the past is such a bore. I'm gonna stand with the moon, with the stars up in my face today. Today, I'm flying on faith. Come on, I'm flying on faith. Full of worry, let the fear take you out. Imagining the worst, overcome with doubt. No way to know, knowing is the way today. Today, I'm flying on faith. I'm flying on faith. What you do? I picked up my baggage and I threw it out the door. No more looking back because the past is such a bore. I'm gonna stand with the moon, with the stars up in my face today. Today, I tip it to today. Today, I'm First verse one more time. Go ahead, tiptoe through your life. Digging in the dirt, you can stress on the strife. I'm gonna fly past the worry and the pain today. I'm flying on faith. Amen.
Good morning. I'm Donna Heil. And when Christy asked us to do the Practitioner Sunday, we were divvying up our roles and wasn't sure who wanted to do a 20-minute talk. So I remembered that Janice had asked me to do a project with her about following your dreams. So we said, hey, let's coordinate our talks and we will do one talk on following your dreams with the two of us. So this is my portion of our 20-minute talk. But, and also I didn't realize when we were planning this Sunday that it was actually Father's Day, Reverend Christy's birthday, the summer solstice, all these awesome days to celebrate all rolled into one. So very excited to be here and share my story with you and kind of tie in a little Father's Day stuff with it, and just wishing Christy happy birthday. And on the summer solstice, it's just an awesome day to remember. It's the day with the most daylight of the whole year. So we are being a part of that and sharing our light today on this day and remembering to be the light. So with that, I want to tell you a little story about me following my dream. I will start it off by saying, I am Donna Heil and I am an artist. And it took me a lifetime to be able to say that, which is kind of crazy because I have been painting or drawing my entire life, as many of you probably did. When I was young, I loved art. Teachers recognized early on that I, could draw, and I loved art in high school. I always had a passion for it. But somehow in my brain, I thought that you can't make a living doing art. So put that aside. And followed a career path into interior design where I incorporated art into many of my projects. Then I also sold real estate. I taught art. I did a lot of things besides actually painting to sell my work at a serious level. So I want to backtrack a little bit and tell you one of my greatest influences in me becoming this artist that I have finally become is my dad. My dad, who was a World War II combat vet, who was fifth generation in our family-run funeral home business. He was a funeral director my whole life. Was also a poet and a writer and a avid art appreciator and art collector. So as a child, my dad took me on weekends to art galleries, to art museums. I went with him always to art galleries where he'd teach me about artists, and he'd purchase art. Never bought big, expensive art purchases, but they were local artists usually, and he'd tell me what he liked about it, and it piqued my interest in art from a very young age. But he never pursued his artistic dreams. He wrote on occasion. He wrote a few poems, and one of these days I'm going to publish the poems and some writings of his, but he wrote a book about the war, but we do have that. But anyway, fast forward, him being a great influence in my life and not following that dream, I finally decided at the age of maybe 10 years ago that I was going to follow my dream, that I wanted to paint full time and see what could happen. I felt like I wasn't a real artist, that I was a mom that liked to draw, that liked to paint. And wasn't until I started taking some online courses again. I've taken art all my life, but I started taking some new courses and discovered oil painting for the first time 10 years ago. I had done watercolor, I'd done acrylics, but I had never done oil. I fell in love with the process, and I started painting a lot. But I still, even though I got my first studio, started selling pieces, I still felt like I wasn't an artist. And as I've done a lot of study in science of mind, it was really more about me not thinking I was enough. My art was good. It needed to improve, but it was all in my head that I couldn't follow this dream. So I decided to work on myself, to work on that, to work on my art. And slowly but surely, I put in the time, which I've said previously, one of the quotes that I love in art is, I can't even remember who said it, but miles and miles of canvas make for a good artist. So you have to put in the time like any art, a musician, a dancer, you have to put in the time. And there are many, many, many pieces and canvases in this studio alone that I will never sell, but they were all part of the process in helping me get here. The whole journey is part of the process to help me to get where I am today, where I am selling art online to random strangers I don't know, getting commission pieces, getting my prices up there where I hope they would be. I'm not there yet where I want them to eventually get, but I'm getting there. And it's no longer about me not thinking I'm enough. It's not any longer me not believing in myself because an artist in the studio 2 doors down is a better artist than I am. We're all different. We're all on a journey that's individual for each and every one of us. My art may appeal to some people. It may not appeal to other people. It is my art. And so I put it out there, and my purpose is to bring joy and color into people's homes. And it's working. So I put the intention out there. I put in the steps. I practice my practice. And then I let it go. If somebody buys it, they buy it. If they don't, they don't. It'll rotate walls. It'll go into this shop. It'll go into that shop. And the next thing you know, a piece I did 6 months ago will sell because it connects to somebody. So this dream that has been a lifelong journey just continues. It continues. I'm 65 years old. If I could write a letter to my younger self, I would say, do it earlier. Don't step into the fear. Do your practice, work at it. I also wish I had practiced the piano more and could now just sit and play. And that might be my next goal. Get back and relearn that again. It's just doing the things. You can take online courses for anything. You can take master courses. You can take, anyone can learn to be an artist, honestly. You have to put in the time. You have to work at it. And if it's something that's calling your soul, that it's something you feel like you're destined to do, you just do it. You have to step into the role and say, okay, I'm going to do it. We'll see what happens. And sure enough, good things come when you follow your dreams. So I'm here to say how grateful I am for the opportunity to be in a community that is so positive, that has supported my artistic journey for the past 10 years, and how now that I can sell to random strangers online, it's still mind-blowing for someone like me that would never even imagine that could happen. So as we learn in all of our classes that we take with Reverend Christy, set your goals, set your intentions, dream it, dream a dream, make it big, because doors will open, things will happen, and lo and behold, you'll find yourself following your dream. So thank you all. I look forward to seeing you again soon in person, and thank you for being with me.
Today's message is all about following your dreams. For me, following your dreams goes beyond doing. It really is about being and feeling. I've learned that if you can see it and feel it, you can create it. And if you desire it, you're made for it. Knowing you're made for it cancels out all doubt. And a big part of my spiritual journey has been allowing and aligning with my dreams and really just being open to endless possibilities, because one dream is really the catalyst for so much more to be birthed out of you. And as co-creators, we're here to be the self-expression of the things we want and are yearning to accomplish. And it starts and ends with that feeling. How do we want to feel about it? To truly master that, you have to learn to pivot to how you want to feel with peace, grace, and effortless ease. And the universe communicates through vibrations, and how we feel activates those vibrations. Those vibrations help you become an energetic match for whatever you want. Your dreams, the things you want to accomplish, those burning desires are locked into how you feel. And I can remember for me, the simplicity of this just made it so complex, because we're literally in a society that is overly emotional, overly critical, and just overall fear-based. But we're called to be the leaders of the pack and to get into these feelings that represents all the good that we want out of life. And by executing this piece, what we're doing in turn is we're holding space for others to do the same. You know, your dreams and those burning desires are so much bigger than you, you know, more than you can even imagine. And to put this into context, let me take you on a little journey. So back in the summer of 2014, it's a bright and sunny day. And at that point in time, I'm going through life like it's a hamster wheel. I'm doing a lot of things and not getting anywhere or feeling fulfilled in life. I mean, I'm literally going through life like it's Groundhog Day. And it seemed like every facet of my life is literally hanging on by a thread. You know, I was ultimately unhappy with my career, my money, my relationships in my life, but ultimately I was more unhappy with myself. My circumstances were a mirror of how I felt about myself and my life on the inside. So my pivotal moment happened on that bright sunny day in 2014. I was laying on the couch. I can remember I was looking out the window and I saw a bird fly. And I can remember just instantly saying to myself, I don't even know where it came from, I wonder what it feels like to be free to fly. And something in me just shifted. I mean, it was instant. It was a spark, a fire, a passion to literally see what would make me feel free like that bird flying carefree in the sky. So I wanted to know, if I could have everything my way, what would my days feel like? You know, what would relationships feel like? What would like earning an income, a living, doing what I love feel like? But more importantly, at the soul of it, how would I feel just being me? So my spiritual journey started from there. That bird was almost like my good feeling landmark. So anytime I got confused and caught up in the details or bogged down because things weren't happening fast enough, I would visualize that bird and remember what it felt like just to watch that bird glide in the sky without a care in the world. And I still do that to this day when I'm treating and manifesting. So if you don't have a good feeling landmark, so to say, to help you pivot and put you in that good feeling zone, try it out if you feel led to. And as I started mastering the feeling, I learned that once I affirmed and wrote down my dreams, my job and my sole job was to let it go. And the only thing I had to do was feel like that bird to call forth my dreams, that feeling of just ease and freedom. And once I mastered that, oh buddy, came the inspired action. I mean, I seemed to always be in the right place at the right time. Ideas were being birthed and executed with effortless ease. People were just showing up out of nowhere to either mentor me, motivate me, or just feed me with hearing the right thing at the right time. It was really mind-blowing, and it really still is to this day. Allowing and aligning will be your strongest allies, but it does take you down some roads you'll never see coming. You know, as you're ready, as you allow, it's like you start shedding layers of yourself, literally, that need to be healed through things like forgiveness, humility, grace, patience, empathy. And in the process, while it may seem debilitating sometimes, you're in turn being strengthened to really call forth that dream in your life. And it really is such a magical process that births so much more for you, just waiting to bless you in divine timing. So if you get stuck in the process, just stop what you're doing, take a deep breath, and simply say, how do I want to feel? And in the beginning, when I would do this, I would even have that question on Post-it notes around the house. It'd be on my computer or on my refrigerator, even on my bathroom mirror. because for me, I had to really reprogram my thinking. You know, I was brought up focusing on things I didn't want, to where when I first asked myself the question, like, how do you want to feel when, you know, I get this thing or whatever, it was tough. So I took baby steps. Every day I would ask myself, how do I want to feel today? Then to incorporate it more, to really start reprogramming my mind. Before I did anything, I would set the intention of how I wanted to feel. Like, for example, before I had a cup of tea, I would ask myself, you know, how do I want to feel while I'm drinking the tea? Or before I would drive somewhere, I would ask myself, you know, how do you want to feel during the drive? Or before I would go out with friends, I would ask myself, you know, how do I want to feel, you know, during the event, and how do I want the interactions to feel? Just really digging deep and learning how to answer those questions and feel them. And over time, this became such a natural process because I was in tune and aware of how I felt. And I never beat myself up over a bad feeling. I learned to be aware of it, get in it, deal with it with grace and with ease, and be intentional with how I wanted to feel. And this was the biggest game changer of my life, because this is when the magic happens, where everywhere you step, it seems like a rock appears. And it really opens up doors where there were once walls for you. Now, here's the gotcha. The more I was allowing of the process and tapped into the path of following my desires, from promotions to degrees and certification and tangible things I wanted, it tore down walls to underlying and burning desires. And one infamous dream that it made me aware of that I didn't even know was there. And that desire was to help and motivate people who felt like I felt, laying on that couch on that bright sunny day, watching that bird flying carefree in the sky that summer of 2014, just yearning to see what it felt like to feel free. And I never knew I wanted to motivate people on such a massive platform until I continuously called forth how I wanted to feel at each stage of my journey, and really being intentional and in the flow for inspired action. So for me, following my dream over time became more than the things I wanted from it, but more of what I wanted to be putting out through it to inspire and motivate people to tap into that thing that's yearning on the inside of them. So thank you for allowing me to share.
This is one of my favorite songs to sing, and it's perfect for the theme of dreams. It's an Eddie Watkins Jr. song. We love him, right? Reverend Christy introduced me to Eddie many years ago, and I became obsessed, just as I became obsessed with Reverend Christy. There is a garden where dreams come true, yeah, a beautiful garden where God's grace blooms. There is a garden where everything grows, a beautiful garden where love is sown. And in this place of light and love, you can have anything that you're dreaming of. There is a garden where dreams come true, a beautiful garden. That garden is you. You're such a beautiful garden. That garden is you. If you were something growing in the garden, what would you be? This is fun. You can put it in the comments. If I was in the garden, I would be a big, fat, beautiful sunflower facing the sun. Or I would be a stargazer lily, because I'm stinky. There is a garden where dreams come true. A beautiful garden where God's grace blooms. There is a garden where everything grows. A beautiful garden where love is sown. And in this place of light and love, where you can have anything that you're dreaming of. There is a garden where dreams come true. A beautiful garden. Guess what? That garden is you. Let's sing it one more time. There is a garden where dreams come true. Beautiful garden where God's grace blooms. Yeah. There is a garden where everything grows. A beautiful garden, yeah, where love is sown. And in this place of light and love, you could have anything. You could have anything that you're dreaming of. There is a garden where dreams come true. Yeah, beautiful garden. That garden is you. Such a beautiful garden, a garden, a garden. The garden is you. Such a beautiful garden, a garden, a garden. The garden is you. The garden, the garden, the garden, the garden is you. Kids, we see you, we hear you, we appreciate you, and we love you just the way that you are. Divine love moving through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, for the good in my life. It's such a blessing to be able to support your spiritual community. I give from my heart. I give without fear. I give out of love. All I need is here. And I know God provides an endless supply. I open my hands and watch my world come alive. I give. Let's do it again. I give from my heart without fear. I give without fear. Out of love. I give out of love. All I need is here, and I know God provides an endless supply. I open my hands and watch my world come alive. I give what is so easy to give away for you. Open up that heart space, and we'll sing one more time. I give from my heart. Here we go. I give from my heart. I give without fear. I give out of love. All I need is here, and I know God provides an endless supply. I open my hands and watch my world come alive. Watch my world come alive. Watch my world come alive. I give. Thank you.
If you wish and it is safe to do so, you may close your eyes as I offer up this affirmative prayer to close out this service. I breathe in and out, turning my time, my attention, my mind to that inner place deep within me where I know that there is only one life, one love that I call God. God, singular, eternal, infinite being, yet giving always and ever of itself into unique, individualized expressions as you and I. I know that today's donations are blessing both CCSA and the individuals having given. Whether that donation is time, money, effort, love, all are participating in the law of circulation, and a blessing is bestowed on each and every one. As we give with an open hand, so we receive. And I know in this moment of now that this wonderful energy of the solstice is also blessing each individual, blessing our dreams. As we marry our inner vision and inner desires with our outer actions, miracles happen, and our dreams are birthed into reality. It is with a joyful heart that I look forward to seeing these dreams manifest into expression. I say thank you. Thank you to the beloved divine being that is present, that is making this word manifest even as I speak it. I let this word go. I let it be, knowing it is already done. And so it is.
We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the joy. We let let it be. We love you. We